Welcome to Vantage Points, where we bring you the latest news from Indonesia. Let's get into today's top stories. Bali's Governor Wayan Koster surveys the serious waste management and environmental challenges at Denpasar's South landfill, promising to bring the pressing issues to national attention.
Tribune X reports, on Sunday, May 25, 2025, Bali Governor Wayan Koster, accompanied by the mayor of Denpasar and the head of the Forestry and Environmental Services Department of Bali, visited the garbage mountain at TPA Suwung Denpasar Selatan. Koster directly observed and absorbed a number of important and urgent issues that need to be resolved immediately. In addition to directly observing the conditions at the landfill, Koster also received an explanation from the head of the Bali's waste management, Nimad Armadi. Armadi expressed the complex issues faced by TPA Suwung. He mentioned the difficulties experienced during the rainy season and when the waste processing equipment is damaged. Especially during the rainy season, garbage trucks have to queue, which often causes problems in the field. Armadi also touched on the suboptimal leachate water management due to equipment damage, which has serious consequences, including leachate seeping into the mangrove forest and killing a number of mangrove trees in several areas. The garbage mountain at TPA Suwung, located in South Denpasar, has become a major environmental issue in Bali. The 32.4-hectare landfill faces serious challenges related to capacity and environmental pollution. In response to these challenges, the Bali provincial government is currently promoting public awareness and active roles in optimizing waste management systems based on resources. To expedite the resolution of the TPA Suwung issue, Bali Governor Wayan Koster personally inspected the location. The Bali provincial government focused its review on the ever-growing garbage mountain. Due to the suboptimal household-level sorting program, this landfill has become a storage for various types of waste mixed together, making it increasingly difficult to process. Governor Koster informed that the crucial issue of TPA Suwung has received government attention. He conveyed that the Minister of Environment and Forestry, so they can be resolved immediately.
The Suwung landfill is the largest of the 8 major landfills in Bali. Hopefully they can figure out a better way to manage the waste, as people from kilometers away are often affected by the smell, and every so often the release of methane gases results in the landfill catching fire, covering the southern part of the island in smoke. A unique meteorological condition called a wet drought is currently gripping Indonesia, as reported by the country's meteorology, climatology, and geophysics agency. This phenomenon marks a shift between the rainy and dry seasons, with significant rainfall still occurring despite the onset of the dry season.
According to Harian Compass, the Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Agency, BMKG, predicts that most of Indonesia is currently entering the transition season, also known as the period between the rainy and dry seasons. During this period, the weather can change rapidly, marked by hot air and weather in the morning until noon, followed by rain from noon until evening. In its information update, the BMKG mentioned that the peak of the dry season is predicted to occur in August. It is even predicted to occur the same or possibly earlier than usual, dominating the entire region of Indonesia. However, some areas in Indonesia are still experiencing rainfall. This phenomenon is not without reason. The BMKG states that Indonesia is experiencing a wet dry season. A wet dry season is an unusual meteorological condition. This wet dry season phenomenon is marked by high humidity and still high rainfall during the transition period until the beginning of the dry season. The BMKG predicts that this wet dry season phenomenon will continue until the end of the dry season in August 2025. After that, Indonesia will enter the transition season, or the period between September and November 2025, and the rainy season will return in December 2025 until February 2026. This wet dry season phenomenon can serve as a reminder that the impact of climate change is increasingly felt in Indonesia, with various effects from drought to natural disasters. Therefore, it is necessary to increase awareness and concern for the environment. In addition, the government also needs to develop mitigation strategies in order to adjust to climate change and increasingly unpredictable weather patterns.
I guess this is good news for those of you that like it wet. Next up, a 25-hectare solar power project in Bali is causing environmental disruptions and raising concerns among locals, who report increased dust, flooding, and damage to homes and farmland.
The construction of a solar power plant on a 25-hectare plot of land in Tianyar Village, Karangasem, Bali, is currently underway. However, local residents have already begun to feel the environmental impact of the project, which is being built by PT Metco Solar Bali Timor. During the dry season, dust flies around, while in contrast, rain causes floods that erode part of the access road, residents' house walls, kindergarten buildings, and land. In fact, some livestock pens and houses have flooded. Residents say that before this project, floods never occurred. They regret the negative impact on the environment they are experiencing. Moreover, PT Metco claims there was communication and agreements made. However, the narrative of these agreements is still unclear. Hopefully, the Metco party will take responsibility, because right now the residents are feeling seriously disadvantaged.
I wonder how this upcoming wet-dry season will affect the output of the solar power plant, adding to the question of whether or not this solar power plant is necessary. Indonesian anti-terror police have arrested an 18-year-old high school student suspected of spreading ISIS propaganda and inciting terrorist activities on social media, as reported by Post Kampung.
The Special Detachment 88. Anti-terror police arrested an 18-year-old high school student for actively spreading propaganda and inciting terrorist actions through social media. The arrest was made in the Goa district, South Sulawesi, on Saturday, May 24th. The suspect was known to be active in a digital communication channel that disseminated content related to ISIS ideology, including calls for bombings against places of worship. Based on the investigation, it was stated that the suspect managed and actively sent various posts in the form of pictures, videos, voice recordings, and writings containing Islamic State propaganda in a WhatsApp group named the Islamic State, which was created in December 2024. The Densus 88 team is committed to continuing to eradicate terrorist networks, including those that utilize digital technology as a means of spreading radical ideology. Densus 88 urges the public to remain vigilant and immediately report to security forces if they find suspicious activities that could potentially endanger the security and order of the community.
That wraps up our coverage for today. If you found this report informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.